Welcome to the From the Earth Educational Garden. Here I just want to give you a little update on what's going on with the garden in 2020. So it's about the end of July right now and things are really starting to take form and come into their own. We ended up getting off to a little bit of a late start, but I'm hoping that we'll have a strong finish of what we're doing. So this is our third year that we're going to be at this specific garden location. This garden all got started with the help from a SARE grant. SARE stands for Sustainable Agriculture Research and Education. And it's really sort of what helps fund some of the different educational activities that we have going on out here. In the garden, we grow about 25 different kinds of produce and end up planting upwards of 50 different varieties of crops. So for example, we plant multiple varieties of things like sweet corn, pumpkins, tomatoes, and beans. Last year in the garden, we harvested over 4,000 pounds of produce, and I'm really hoping that we'll make it in that range again this year. Some of the challenges that happened this year with COVID-19, we got off to a late start. Typically, we want to start planting our cold tolerant crops in the garden around the beginning to the middle of May. We weren't able to start planting until closer to the end of May or the beginning of June, and that was just one of the challenges that we've had. We were able to get a lot of our plants started and transplanted out here. So those are some of our things like our tomatoes and peppers, so those are really looking great. Behind me we have our sweet corn, pumpkin, and then potato patch. So this sweet corn is going to be ready hopefully about the middle of August. So we're really looking forward to that. It's always a fan favorite for our customers. Most of the produce harvested out here in the garden goes towards our Community Supported Agriculture Program, or CSA. This year we have about 40 CSA members who receive a box of produce each week. Our members can choose from either a full share or a half share, and it's really just what it sounds. You get about double the produce in a full share versus a half. But we found last year was the first year that we did that program, and we found it's a great way to get produce in the hands of our community members. And from our survey last year, it really helped everybody who was participating eat more vegetables during the summer, which was really our goal. Some other avenues for the produce grown in the garden. Occasionally we'll bring some to the casino or also to the elderly center that are incorporated in some of the meals they serve. Out here, the garden is really the responsibility of the agriculture department, but we do partner with other organizations inside the community. For example, we partner with Community Health for our CSA program, working on reaching people who could really utilize that extra produce. And they also provide some healthy recipes that we can send along in the bags each week. We also work with our environmental department on getting compost for the garden. So the environmental department collects compost, food waste from the casino, brings it down to a compost pile, and then has brought it out to the garden, and we're able to use that as a nutrient source out here. So in here is our tomato patch. We have probably close to 100 tomato plants growing right now. We have them trellised in a couple of different ways. This is an educational garden, so we want to make sure that we're trying different varieties to see what grows best here and what our customers like to eat. And also working to see how our tomato plants can grow, doing different things with fertilizer, prunings, and things like that to make sure that we have the best crop possible. Behind me over here, we have some peppers and cucumbers. So one of the challenges that we've had this year in the garden is we did have some pest problems. We had a pesky little woodchuck that liked to come in and nibble on a lot of our plants that we had started. So you can see some open holes here, and actually ate all of our cucumber plants twice. So this is actually our third planting of cucumbers, and they're finally starting to come around. So that'll be really exciting. Just another one of the challenges of the season. Every year is different, but we try our best to sort of work through them and tackle problems as they arise. Out here we have our bean patch. Right now it kind of looks like a lot of beans, but we actually plant 3 different kinds of beans. So we plant green beans, yellow beans, and purple beans. It's just kind of another fun, exciting way to eat a couple of different colors of vegetables. We also planted our beans at 2 different times. So we did 12 rows of beans at the beginning of June, and then we came back around June 20th, 25th, and planted another 12 rows of beans. So that helps us expand our season a little bit and what we're able to offer to our CSA members. Over here on this lettuce, we have our shade cloth up. This is just another one of the tools we use to help protect our lettuce, which is a little bit more of a cold tolerant crop from some of these hot summer days that we've been having this summer. We use this, it's about a 30% shade cloth, but it actually keeps it about 5 degrees cooler underneath the shade cloth than it is here out in the sun. So it's really great and helps slow our lettuce down from bolting and things like that, or turning into seed, which is something that we don't want for our lettuce crop. So as I mentioned before, this is an educational garden, and we really like to try different things. Out here, we have, in one of our raised beds that we have, most of the growing that we do is in the ground, but we do have a few raised beds because I wanted to keep this crop kind of precious and separate from some of our other beans. These are our Stockbridge beans. So the folks from Seed Savers Exchange sent us some beans. So it's our hope to grow these for seed, so that way we'll be able to share more beans more traditional beans within the community in the upcoming years.